Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. US dollar index remains depressed below 95.00 ahead of data. http ntvforex.com news IDE 978DD. 12 minutes ago. By Pablo Piovano. DXY stays very bearish in the sub 95.00 area on Thursday. DXY now targets the 2020 lows in the 94.6560 band March 9. Initial claims only of relevance in the US docket later in the session. The greenback, in terms of the US dollar index DXY, is extending the leg lower to the area below the key support at 95.00 the figure on Thursday. US dollar index focused on data, risk trends. The index is down for the fifth consecutive session in the second half of the week, navigating at shouting distance from the YTD lows in the vicinity of 94.60 and entering the oversold territory for the first time since mid-June. Indeed, the solid improvement in the risk complex in response to auspicious news regarding a potential COVID-19 vaccine and hopes of a strong economic recovery have been keeping the dollar under heavy pressure since late June, early July. Additionally, the massive amount of monetary stimulus across the world have also prompted investors to look past the pandemic and focus on riskier assets. In the US docket, the weekly report on initial claims will be the only release of note later in the NA session, seconded by the leading index for the month of June measured by the Conference Board. What to look for around USD? The relentless advance of the coronavirus pandemic in the US and across the world versus the probability that a COVID-19 vaccine could be out in the medium term, plus the ongoing reopening of global economies, are all driving the sentiment in the global markets and keep the dollar under downside pressure. On the constructive view of the dollar, bouts of risk aversion should support the investor's preference for the greenback as a safe haven along with its status of global reserve currency and store of value. On another front, the speculative community kept adding to the offered note around the dollar for yet another week, opening the door to a potential development of a more serious bearish trend in the dollar. US dollar index relevant levels. At the moment, the index is losing 0.13% at 94.85 and faces the next support at 94.78 monthly low July 23, seconded by 94.65 2020 low March 9 and then 94.20 38.2% Fibo of the 2017-2018 drop. On the other hand, a break above 96.03 50% Fibo of the 2017-2018 drop would aim for 97.55 55-day SMA and finally 97.80 weekly high June 30. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me mt5.expert.advisors.